Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of XRP, taking a look at what's been going on most recently, what we think is likely to happen next, and all that wonderful stuff. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And in doing so, you will stay up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you have not yet joined us in Discord, the link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Okay, let's make a start. XRP paired up with USDT on the hourly chart. Binance is the data source. Now, as you can kind of see, we've been looking at this a fair bit, and we had the supply area at the top here. This was a triple wick scenario for us, once, twice, three times, and you can see this was between 50.61 and 51.26. Heavy amount of supply coming in, dragging the market down at this point, so big resistance right up here. As you can see, we're hoping to hold this area of demand. This is basically an area down here where we found a lot of wicks coming in, some demand basically taking the price back up. We hit this area a couple of times. We moved up into the supply zone. We moved down. We were hoping to kind of consolidate and hope to keep this area as a bit of support, but we broke it and we've come down to the next area of demand, which is this one down here. Okay, so we can see that we've moved down a fair bit. Now, from Elliott wave theory point of view, we could take a look at this and we'll be like looking at this as if it is a 5-wave structure. As we go down here, you can see we are not quite there yet, though, to be fair. The 1.618 does come down here on this last grey line. This is basically going to be 45.83 cent. Okay, so this particular area, if I mark it up down here at 8.3, is going to be the trigger point for an impulsive structural move to the downside. Now, looking at it from here, I would say it's very, very unlikely that we're going to hit that, so it could just be deemed a bit of a zigzag pattern. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see how that kind of goes, but this would be the trigger point for us going down into 5 waves from the upper side. So it would look like this. It would be 1, 2, this would be kind of 3, that would be 4, then we come down into 5. Okay, however, it's also very possible that actually that is not what's going on there, and this is not a stereotypical wave 2 area here, but we could also look at it more like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that one I don't have to measure because I know it will be the 1.618. So we know that we kind of have this kind of area and that's well worth keeping an eye on, and we know that we are kind of, in and around these zones. So let's take a look at where we are right now. As you can kind of see, we did consolidate down here, but this was my main area of consolidation. This previous area that we're moving up into was previously supply, all the way through here, heavy resistance, and well, we kind of went through it. We never came back down to retest it. So now we've retested this area and we've fallen below it. Is this going to now be our resistance lines? So, this is something I've been talking about for quite a bit of time recently. And that is that, we can't just move up the way that we have been without kind of seeing profits being taken, but also some cooling off. And the DXY is obviously partly to blame here. The DXY moving up brings cryptocurrency assets down and so forth. And I do think there's a lot of room to the upside on the DXY. So we want to be a little bit cautious with thinking about XRP and where that's going. And hopefully some of the videos that I have done recently kind of give you a bit of an insight to that. Of course, I want a bit of a countdown timer for some individuals in the space who are claiming that the 15th or the 18th of November are going to be the day that XRP just shoots up into like $10,000 levels, for example, right? So all eyes are on those individuals and their deadlines. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how they play out. But for the most part, here I'm not seeing terribly too much in the way of positivity on the macro timeframes. Now, on the smaller ones, we can see here that actually we're oversold on the 1 hour, oversold on the 4 hour. Let's just jump up into that 8 hour time frame. We're almost oversold as well. So there's definitely some progression to the upside to be had on the smaller time frames. Not so much the daily or the weekly though. They are looking pretty bearish. So I'm still expecting some discounted rates. There is this little demand zone a little bit lower here. This one comes in at 44.29 to 44.58, and if you can see, this is an area that we kind of have as our major kind of support level for us. So there's kind of a few areas for us to think about here when it comes to XRP, and for the most part I'm optimistic that we're going to have a bit of volatility here, which is great for trading, but I'm also thinking that there is going to be a move down lower, and we are going to start to see some discounted rates again across these cryptocurrency assets, not just XRP. So here we're looking at maybe a potential move upwards. Well, as I said, this is not technically falling inside the scope of a 5-wave structure there. So just be aware that we're probably still in a wave 3. And we probably do have to move down a bit more. And that 8-hour stochastic RSI does tell us that we could potentially have that. So we'll keep an eye on that. 45.83. If we can't hit 45.83 and we move back up into these other additional kind of demand zone areas, then we might, we might just have to chalk this up as a 335 kind of corrective structure and leave it there. So we'll have a look, see how things play out. But for now, that is kind of where XRP sits. There's a fair few things to kind of be thinking about on the smaller timeframes. Now, as I come up into the kind of larger time frame, we'll just take a look at the weekly here, because it can be sometimes perceived really, really positively, right? And specifically with how everything is going. I'm just going to highlight these and just make their visibility not on the weekly chart there, so we can get a nice clear view. Right, so people will look at this and be a little bit confident about it, right? But we're not in 5 waves up or anything like that. There's no trend here. But essentially, to me, it does look like this. It's just 3 waves. 3 waves are short-term corrective structures, right? Now, I know a lot of people will take a look at the end here and be thinking, okay, is this some kind of bear flag or something like that? And I don't think that's really accurate either. What I do think is going on is we are getting ourselves kind of wedged up into a bit of a triangle here. This will coil up and then it'll break down, in my opinion, not to the upside. I could be wrong, of course. I'm happy to be wrong at times, and I wouldn't mind the crypto assets to go up. I just don't think that is really where we are right at this particular moment in time. As you can kind of see, we're trading between these 2 kind of key levels. We had the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧 lows at 17 cent 35, and we have the bull run high at $1.96.69. And it's at this point, guys, I do want to say that we have a new channel sponsor, which is 𝗕𝗪. Now, 𝗕𝗪 is an investment fund, a DAO investment fund. It's doing great things for charity, and there are more details in the description down below, so do go ahead and check those out. This is something that we actually were doing as a part of our Patreon members and in our Discord server as well, with some kind of pre-sales ahead of the actual launch. Now this is launched, the public sale is available, so do check out the details down below. There's a maximum supply of 1,000 NFTs. 𝗕𝗪 holders get access to the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗕 VC for amazing private and pre-sale opportunities. The investment DAO will be acquiring assets during the bear market with massive upside potential when the market turns around as well. So there's a whole host of things you're going to want to know about. We will talk a little bit more about this on the live stream, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in the coming videos as well. But for now, check out the links in the description below. And guys, let's get back into XRP here, right? And just kind of take stock of the situation. It could well be that the bottom is down here at 29 cent. I'm just not a firm believer of that. I'm taking a look at the structure. We do have a lot of overlap on this weekly time frame, and we are unfortunately up in this overbought range as well. Last time we were up in overbought on XRP, we were up here, and well, we saw what happened after. We are now overbought up here, and of course we are at the same point on the stochastic RSI. Okay, so this would be pretty damn bearish, right? We are going and setting ourselves up with some lower highs here, as you can kind of see. If people love trend lines, there you go. There's a trend line right there that's been touching this quite a few times. And what we've done down at the bottom here is come across each of these kind of points, and we've actually set up higher highs on the stochastic RSI. Okay, so this is basically incredibly bearish. We're basically saying that we are overbought without actually pushing the price back as high as it once was before. So we can't get too carried away. We can't be too optimistic thinking that the price of XRP is going to be absolutely flying to the moon when we haven't got the right data to allow us to grow. So just be aware that I'm expecting a move to the downside at some point soon on this weekly time frame. By the end of the year, I imagine that we will be crashing down towards some pretty decent discounted levels. Now, that splits opinions. That's not what people want to hear, but it is the way that I see it. Guys, I'm going to leave this video right there. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one, guys, have a fantastic day.